life is not over. Being HIV positive, life is not over.
Stigma was, it was incredible.
It's about strength and life.
We had a sad anniversary this year. In June, this was the 40th anniversary of the first identification of patients with what we now know to be AIDS, or HIV infection. I did my internship at St. Vincent's Hospital in the Greenwich Village, which was literally where the first cases were identified. And I clearly remember these young men coming in with this really devastating illness that we had no idea what was going on. I think the great news has been the development of treatment regimens that can prolong life of anyone infected with HIV. However, one of the challenges has been the recent COVID epidemic, which has clearly reduced access to care. On this World AIDS Day, I hope all of my colleagues will recommit themselves into ensuring that everyone with HIV infection is identified and put into care, and we enhance our prevention efforts to reduce the all too high incidence of HIV infection in our community and indeed the world.
Hi, my name is Magna Robinson. I work at STAR Health Center here in Brooklyn, New York. Today we are honoring those that are not with us, but we're also honoring those that are still alive, and we're celebrating life. Today we're going to introduce to you the quilt, the survival quilt. This quilt has been made since 2015, and we're here at SUNY Downstate. We want to bring you the guests who are the inspirer of this quilt that you're going to see here today, and also the founder of this quilt. So with no further introduction, let me bring it to Mary Crimes.
Encourage you to do stuff like this. This teaches the youngsters that are coming up now, it gives them hope. It gives them some kind of something to look forward to. They don't feel that hopelessness of, oh my God, I'm going to die, I'm 21 years old. My name is Mary Crimes, and the idea of the Survivors Quilt came to me around, 2015, because they were doing the panels from the Names Project every year for World AIDS Day. The Student Center staff would display those quilts. And those quilts, if you don't know, are made by the people who are made by families and friends of the deceased loved ones. So my thought was, I have a whole panel of patients that have survived this fight for the last 10, 15, 20 years, some of them. So I just got the idea that perhaps maybe do something like a survivor's quilt, something that would allow our patients to let people know that they're still here, they're still alive, and they're still kicking and doing what they need to do. So I did a little flyer and I put it out in the clinic for the patients and got quite a few responses. And I did a planning meeting, and everybody seemed to be on board. So I got some monies from Dr. DeHovitz and went and bought supplies, and we met in the cafeteria, the clinic first. And the patients came together and they started doing these panels. And as you can see, the beauty of it, I didn't do one panel there, but my eyes saw every one of those panels being made, and my heart felt every one of those panels being made. So one of the founding members of the quilt is Michael Anderson. He was there from day one. So I'd like to introduce him to talk about.
In 1991, people were dropping like flies, and I'm still here. Hello, my name is Michael Anderson. I was diagnosed June 10th, 1991, which makes it 30 years that I've been living with HIV. I think that everybody can live with HIV as opposed to thinking about dying from it, because it worked for me and it could work for you. My quilt piece is over there. It says, "A million didn't make it, and thank God I'm one in a million that did." Okay, because a lot of people, a million didn't make it. You know, and at that time in 1991, it was a death sentence, but I'm still here, and I'm kicking butt. Back in 1991, I mean, when I was diagnosed, the stigma was, it was incredible. I mean, people wouldn't would like eat behind you. They served you with paper plates, and it was strange because my family, who's a very like heterosexual type family, they literally gathered around me. We had a little saying back then that you had kitty. Well, all those people that said I had kitty, I buried them. They're not here, and I'm still here. First of all, please take your medication, okay? And please, no glove, no love. Okay, a lot of you young people, I know you think that you're invincible and it can't happen to you, but it can happen to you. Okay, and be aware of your viral load, your T cell count, and all of that. Be aware of the things that you eat, the things that you do. Okay, and you can live a productive life.
Survival.
Yeah.
And it's about survival. All the things that I do is about survival.
My name is Thomas Powell, and I'm a client at the STAR program. Well, I got diagnosed in 2006. Then I came here in 2008, and I met Michael Anderson here too as well. And during the course of me coming for my treatment and being medicated adherence, going to the men's group here, I started to be acclimated more into the STAR program services and what they do here. So I joined the CAB here, and I became the vice chair of the CAB, which is the Consumer Advisory Board here. And we did some miraculous, wonderful things with the clients here, and that's what kept me coming. We are survivors, and I'm one of those survivors because I had 37 friends that I grew up with, and now there's only 5 of us. And it was a pivotal time in everyone's life that being a survivor really mattered. Even Black Lives Matter, but survivals matters just as well. Doing that and getting all of us acclimated and interested in doing it, that was a powerful punch for me to be a part of that, and her too. And I'm humbled that the fact that she asked me to do that, now, along with Michael Anderson, which is my best friend here. Okay, my piece, I did an Egyptian piece because I realized everything started with the Egyptians. Papyrus, writing on walls and papyrus and hieroglyphics and all that stuff. And this reminded me of that how the Egyptians always thought that they had the eternal life, that they would come back and live again. So that's why I put that as a survivor, because they survived all the stuff that they have survived and still being awarded for the things that they did in the past. And I feel that this quilt represents eternal life. So that's why I chose to put the Egyptians in there. Life is not over. Being HIV positive, life is not over, and we can still win the fight. We still have to stick into the fight, and we can win this fight. The fight is never over.
I'm 74 years old, and I've been diagnosed since 1986, and I'm living. My name is Joseph Smith. I'm so grateful to be a part of this presentation for all people, young and old, who are dealing with HIV and the stigma of HIV and AIDS. You know, I was diagnosed in 1986, and my T cells were like 4. I didn't do anything about it at the immediate time because I was working as a staff member, but I had clients that were HIV positive, and I didn't know how to deal with their emotions or feelings, and I was requested to take the test, and I did. I found out, and I was devastated. And at that moment, I had the compassion to understand how people living with HIV or newly diagnosed, how they felt, because I had that compassion. I understood, because now I realized I had it, and that went on for a few years. My T cells were like 6 when I found out, I've traveled many roads. But when I came into the STAR clinic, I used to sit in the clinic and people say, I'm going to group, I'm doing this, I'm doing that. I used to go straight home. You know, I got into recovery. I was in recovery when I came, and I wanted to live with the HIV. I was living already, but I wanted to live. And I started adhering to take my meds and dealing with the issues of my health and everything. And in a sense, I was grateful that I found out, because now if I, at the time, I wasn't taking care of myself like I should. But I'm grateful that I got activated and doing the quilt. I've seen many quilts. I've been to Albany and different places, and they always had the people, family members with their quilts. But when I said survival, and I thought about the process of my recovery and me living with the AIDS virus for over 30 some odd years. And I'm so grateful, and to the people that I met that helped make this quilt. I'm grateful, and I want to let you know that you can live. I'm 74 years old. And I've been diagnosed since 1986, and I'm living. And I'm grateful that I'm grateful because I'm taking care of myself, adhering to the things I need to adhere to as far as my health goes. And I'm grateful, if it wasn't for Mary and this blanket here, it always gives me hope. And that's the most important thing I have to share about this. It gives me hope, and I can help other people when I share my experiences. And you can live. I go out, I do things, I have an active social life. I go on trips, I go bowling. There's nothing too much I don't do with the virus that I didn't do with the virus, with not having the virus. So I'm grateful and thankful for allowing me to be a part of this presentation. But there's always hope if you choose to take the action for it.